once and then hit it right afterward just to get there before freaking. Well, I got Derek Anderson here first.
Oh, the big D.
The big D's up in this.
What?
All right. See, there's Bill. Bill D. Derek. It takes a D in your name.
He's like, move over, Derek.
It takes a D in your name
Yeah.
to be the first. And then there's the Wads. Good morning, Wads.
Once in a while, you get a Z in your name.
Just to throw it all on.
Yeah, just to complicate things. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay, let's get this music started. You were so close, Waz. But you're actually, do you have PTSD from being almost blocked last time? Just asking. For you were so close to being blocked. Just kidding. Okay, where are we at here? Get me some background music. There we go. Good morning. There we go. Justin, that sounds fantastic. Congratulations. Congratulations. That sounds great. Good for you. Yay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Niffy. Did you guys hear Justin's news? He just got offered a position. Good stuff. Good morning. Well, now, what are we hearing from Laura? What's going on? Oh, geez, Laura, I'm sorry to hear that. I did hear that parts of the Midwest were out of electricity. I did hear that. I didn't know it'd been 3 days, though. Woo! Well, you always got your car. Laura. Laura's a survivor. If anyone can make it, it's Laura. Good morning. Take a few minutes to say good morning to each other here. Hugs and happiness. Hugs and happiness. Pennsylvania by Pittsburgh. Gosh, Laura. 3 days. But yeah, that's what I read too. It was like that whole Pittsburgh area got blasted. Wind. Was it wind mostly that took down the power lines? Am I remembering that correctly? Wind. Just said it was just this huge windstorm. Good morning. I wish I could ship Laura some electricity. Yeah, that's what I remember, Laura. Woo, 80 miles per hour. And it was sustained. It wasn't just a few gusts. It was blowing hard for a long time. It just blew all kinds of stuff over and up. Well, you hang in there, girl. If there's anything I can do for you, you let me know. If there's anything you feel like I can do for you, you reach out to Papa Roo. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm going to tell you guys a story here this morning. I have to tell you guys a story. Niffy, I just made that one up. I have to tell you guys a story. but it has a, my story is going to have more. Okay? You still like that one, Justin? I still got them. I still have those. Okay, Pops. Let me tell you guys a story this morning. Okay, here we go. Okay. Good morning, my good friends. All right. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. I was thinking about this last night. So, it's been about 10 years. It's about 10 years ago. One of my mom's favorite things to do was to go to the casino. And I was caretaking her. So I'd get her, she had a scooter, oxygen lady, her little scooter. And there was like a rack on that we put on the back of her car. And I could drive her scooter up onto there, take her anywhere, get the scooter off the rack and get her set up so she could go scooting around. And I'd be walking near her, taking care of her situation. So we load up the scooter to take her to the casinos. And now, mind you, she isn't one of those ladies at the casino that's sitting there putting quarters in a machine like obsesso. She liked to play cards. She grew up playing cards her whole life. They were our whole family, card playing family. We knew every game there was. Played it all the time, especially when we went to my grandmother's, her mom. So my mom just loved to play cards, and she was a very good card player, an incredibly sweet lady. So when she'd go to the casino, they'd move a chair out of the way and she could take her scooter and scoot right up to the table. And everybody knew her. So she had like this group of friends, like, oh, there she is, and she's gonna take our money tonight, and all of that business. Okay, so I'm just setting the stage. It's go to casino night with Mom. While Mom's playing at one table, I would play at another table. We tried real hard not to play at the same table so we wouldn't give the impression of helping each other. And when we did play at the same table, we made a pact. We will never help each other in a cheaty way. Just not gonna do that. We have to stay way above anybody's suspicion of us colluding as players. But usually I'm at a different player, okay? And that's part of it too, Justin. I didn't want my mom to take my money. Good one. So I ended up getting a job at that casino after a while. And I think a big part of it was they liked my mom. We like her. Yeah, maybe you could come here for a little while. Here's the story. Whenever, maybe once every hour or every 2 hours, when I'm playing, I would want to go outside and take a smoke break, okay? But I didn't smoke cigarettes. I was puffing weedy, okay? Puffing the flowers, okay? Justin, I was a house player. That was my job. I literally they would assign me and they'd move me around and I'd sit at a table that didn't have a full table or a lot of players. And I was a house player. And my job was to get people pumped up and having fun and spending some of their chips. Okay? It was really quite a neat job. And I got a budget from the casino, certain stack of chips. And anything over that, I got to keep. It was like my bonus along with my pay. They didn't pay me much, maybe $8, $10 an hour. But I got a stack of chips. Not quite a cooler. I was the opposite nerdy. I was like, I needed to heat up the tables. And I'm bragging, but I was pretty good at it. I brought enough energy and fun and excitement to the table. And I would know when not to just totally burn somebody and take all the money and ruin the table. Anyways, okay, here we are. I wasn't working there yet. This is before I actually started working there. We, I would go out. Well, I can't take a break smoking weed in the cigarette area. So I'd have to go over and I'd get in my mom's car, okay? And I'd smoke my 2 or 3 hits, put it in the ashtray, and then I'd go back inside the casino and keep playing. All right. This night, okay, thanks, nerdy. This night, it's time to go home, and I take my mom, get her in her scooter, scoot out to the car, and I'm looking at the car before I even got there. And I said to myself, I don't remember the car having tinted windows. All of a sudden, the car that I was returning to, my mom's car, relatively new model, had tinted windows, black as could be. And I'm like, this is awkward. This is weird. I open the door to the car, and black smoke billows out of the car. Pours out right in my face. And my mom's like, what's going on? And I'm like, what's going on? Evidently, I had not quite put the pipe out. And I sat it down on the center console in the car, right underneath the radio. Poof! The car catches on fire inside the car. Okay? It is nothing but like a carbon mobile at this point. My mom's on oxygen, so I'm not going to be able to take her home in this car. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to drive the car. So I slide into the seat. I still can't look out the window, but I'm wiping the window down. Hand as black as coal. Okay? And can I start the car? Will the car even start? Yeah, it started up. And I'm like, oh no. Well, there's one thing I can't do is put my mom in this car, because I don't want her to look like a coal miner and be breathing this all the way home. It's about a 15-minute drive to our house. So we go back inside, and we get one of our friends that play there, with the guy that became a friend, say, is there any way you could drive my mom home? And I'll drive the car, and you guys drive right behind me, so if there's anything wrong, if the car blows up on the way home, I'll have somebody there to save me. Okay? So I do. I drive the car home, pull it into the carport, and I get out, and I look like I just got out of a coal mine. All right? And this whole time I'm driving home, I'm thinking, I have to lie to my mom. I do not want to tell my mom that I caught her car on fire. I don't want to do that. I don't want to take the blame. So the whole way home, I'm thinking to myself, what's my story going to be? What am I going to say when we finally pull it up at home and my mom's like, what happened to my car? That's the one I pulled, Cleanie. That's the one I pulled. I pulled the old, I think, this is a true story. I think that the radio shorted. Because the fire started like right underneath the radio. Okay, that's it, I said, I think the radio, this is the story I'm telling my mom. Now, at this point, I wasn't practicing being impeccable. Okay? It was a rando electrical fire. That's all I can think of, Mom. Because she didn't know I would sneak out to the car and hit the old reefy. Okay, so I'm driving home and I've got the whole lie set up. And I pull it off. I pull it off for a couple of years. She's still, The insurance adjuster comes out. He totals the car. I'm sorry, ma'am, your car's, you're never going to be able to save this interior. They write her a check for the car because they believe, or at least they filed it as, an electrical fire. So I'm like, phew, I got away with this one. But I lived with the guilt of the lie for like, and then we got her another car and everything. But I lived with the guilt of the lie for like 2 or 3 years. She's in the hospital. I think she's not going to make it this time. And I break down. I can't let you go, Mom, without telling the truth about what happened to your car 2 years ago. I did it. She's laughing with me. She's like, that's okay. There's no doubt in my mind that she probably knew. She probably knew, but she never called me on it. Okay? And then I finally tell her the truth. Why did I tell you guys this story? What made the fire go out in the car? Why didn't the whole car catch on fire and just blow up? And if the car had caught on fire and blown up, it probably would have caught some more cars in the parking lot on fire. Okay, low-key, I know she knew, Harvey. What kept the whole parking lot from turning into a conflagration? Okay? Sue. That's exactly right. Okay? It starved it, that little fire on the console, radio, starved itself out from lack of oxygen. There was it just had whatever amount of oxygen was inside the sealed car. And after that, poof, it went out. And then smoke everywhere, and it captured the smoke. Lack of oxygen, okay? You can always stop fires from a lack of oxygen. I'm going to just say this very briefly. Very, very briefly. Why did I even think of this story from 10 years ago last night? Because I'm going to approach this delicately, okay? We have a group chat. And on a group chat, we had a fella that was a little out of control on the group chat. But what happened was we forgot that if we give this no oxygen, it'll stop breathing very quickly. We need to not give those kind of situations any oxygen whatsoever. If you've noticed me, I made 2 comments and I stopped breathing in the same room. No oxygen. And things would have calmed down a lot sooner. He can only be on fire for so long if we're not giving it oxygen. And so that's our lesson from yesterday. Don't feed poison in poisonous situations. Hey, honestly, the details are not important. They turn into gossip when you start repeating them. They really do. And that's not what we do here. And we also don't take things personal. There was some things said. If you think I'm taking it personal, you're barking up the wrong person. Okay? What I felt was extreme pain. So please, this is my message at the end of the day here to all of us. And there was some beautiful replies. There were some people that were really working hard to reel this in and make things feel good. We would have been better if we'd have just given it no oxygen whatsoever. Okay? So let's leave it at that. And remember, in the future, when you're about to see something that could catch on fire and blow up the whole parking lot, if we just don't give it any oxygen, who knows, Jesus? We don't know, and it's like that's not even the important point. The important point is don't. It would have been better for that person too, were he not being fed oxygen. So when we're in those situations, here's what we want to do. We want to give it no oxygen, period. Or if you're in their presence physically, walk away. Go for a long walk. Go for a forest path. Okay? So that was my story. Give me 5 people. 5 people that would not let Pops drive their car to the casino. Give me 5 people that, no, Pops, I'm sorry, we can't trust you with the car. Okay? Oh, gosh. I lied to my mom for 2 years straight. Okay? 2 straight years. You guys are really sweet. I have never caught another car on fire. You would not believe my shock when I went out there, and I knew immediately that it was my pipe that had started the whole thing. Okay, I knew immediately. And I'm like, I have to lie to Mom. I do. I got to get an insurance claim for her, and I got to figure this out. Was when I came clean, she just laughed. I spent 2 years in pain for hiding secrets from my mom. And when I told her, she was like, oh, that's a good one. Anybody else burn up a car? I'm Queenie. And it really was a good lesson for me, Niffy, because I literally see that car in my mind's eye. And the tinted windows, I literally see that car in my mind's eye when I'm getting ready to feed somebody's negative situation. I'm like, wait a minute. Remember the car? Be the car. Be the sealed car. And we still got an insurance thing out of the deal. So it's a true story. And it's very it has a moral to it. Okay. Like I said, Sam, I'm pretty darn sure my mom knew. I'm pretty sure. She never told me though. She never said, oh, I knew all along. She gave me so much grace. I think she liked her new car too. Okay, so that's a good story. Mr. Phillips, she knew. And then we had to get the rack, her little scooter rack off of the old car. And it cost like $300 or $400 to have a new rack, bracket and all that attached to the carriage of the new car. And I said, Mom, I'll pay that. I should pay that. Why? The insurance company? No, Mom. Let me take care of the new rack. Okay. That's my story. So let's remember that when we need to. Okay. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Go. I'm trying to get some names on this list. Give me a number between 1 and 50. You can put up to 3 of them on your line at one time. Sanum, King Metro, Dando, Herbie, Jolie, Kim, and Michael Patterson are already qualified. Okay? Give me a number between 1 and 50. And we'll get you started here. I haven't seen the number yet. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Okay, chartreuse alternator. That's good, Kim. Okay, we're still not seeing the number. I'm going to give you guys a hint. Nope, I don't have to. Niffer's just got the number. Niffy, congratulations. You said 31, and it sure is a 31. Niffy, I'm glad to put you on the list. Niffer. Nippy, you're on the list for the spin to win tomorrow. You have to be here, but I'm going to be giving away 3 big bags of supplementary supplemental supplements. Okay? And I can't think of anybody, well, I can think of a few, but I would definitely put Nippy on the list of people that I would love to send something to. Okay? We're going to do that tomorrow. Niffy. Is this true? Is this true? Oh, Anthony Tatum. I see Anthony here. Anthony, I was looking at my shipping. And I was looking at my shipping, and it looks like I made a mistake on a box that I sent to you because the shipping information says it's coming back to me because of a bad address. I think I forgot to put your unit number on there. So the box is coming back to me. It's already on its way back, it looks like. The second I get it, I'll fix the address and get that back out to you. Okay? So I'm sorry, it looks like I forgot to put the unit number and they didn't deliver. So it's coming back, but it'll I'll boomerang it right back to you. He's such a neat man. I enjoyed meeting him personally, and his girl, just a treasure. Is this true? Egypt has more pyramids than any other country in the world. Thank you, Anthony. Is this true? Egypt has more pyramids than any other country in the world. Okay, those that say false, they're correct. What country has the most? What country has the most pyramids? Whoever answers correctly, I'm going to put their name on the list. Mexico, I don't think that those were pyramids, you guys. I don't think those were pyramids. I think those were ziggurats. Something like that. Nope, it's not Mexico. It's not anything in Central or South America. Okay? No, no, no. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you it's somewhere in Africa. Tell me where. Somewhere in Africa. Where do you think? No Google, no Google, no Google. There's a country in Africa that has at least 35 pyramids. Blows Egypt's pyramid count away. Which country is it? So far, nobody has gotten it correct. Nobody has gotten it correct yet. I'm making you guys think this morning. No Google, no Google. Where do you think? I haven't seen the answer yet. This country has the most of any in the world with at least 35. Marty G, that's correct. Classic, you didn't quite spell it correctly. Plus, yeah, you didn't quite get it correctly on the spelling. Matty G, Sudan. Sudan is the answer. Matty G is now on the list. Matty, you got to be here tomorrow. And we're going to do a spin to win. Okay, that's a pretty neat one. Wait, let me read that to you. When I read that, I thought I would never have guessed that in a million years. Egypt has more pyramids than any other country in the world. False. Actually, Sudan has the most pyramids than any other country in the world, with at least 35 pyramids. Maddie G, you're from Australia? Ah, Maddie, I gotta take you back off the list. We don't mail to Australia. Maddie, we're gonna put classic in your spot even though she misspelled it. Maddie, I'm sorry. I'm putting classic in your spot. She was a little ahead of you, slight misspell. We're going classic on that one. And I'm sorry for that, Maddie. I'm very, very sorry. Jesus Christ knows how tough it is because we've never been able to send him anything either. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. I'm going to read a couple of articles to you guys this morning. First, I want to show you this. I showed this yesterday on my IG account. Now, remember here at Tea with Pops, we have two rules. We don't really do rules, but we have two agreements among us. We're not going to talk about politics, and we're not going to talk about religion. Even though we end up covering a little tip of an iceberg on religion once in a while, and a tip of politics, we don't give our opinions, and we don't judge. And it isn't an open discussion situation. It's too divisive, and I mean, sometimes I don't even talk politics with my own family. Okay? So this, what I'm about to show you, has nothing to do with, for me, politics. This is not about politics here. Okay? This is about policy. This is about policy. This is about veteran health care, mental health care. We're still not that aware as a general U.S. population how damaged our veterans come home. They really do. And then they're being re-entered into their society, and they've been living off of adrenaline and cortisol for a year or two or however long they've been gone. They've seen some of the most despicable things. Clearly, it's important that we handle those people with goodness and kindness. Somebody that was going to put their life on the line and bleed their lifeblood out for me deserves an immense amount of my attention. Listen closely with me to this. One more time. First of all, I love the question that Trump posed. This is the Secretary of Veteran Administration, and it's a cabinet meeting. And I'm not talking about the politics or any of that crap about it. I'm not talking about what this man says. And what cracks me up is these are a bunch of middle to older aged white men that probably have zero actual on the ground experience with this particular topic, but they're seeing it. The proof is there, and it's so there that it's undeniable. Significant other. Significant.
How are you doing with the suicide rates? We're getting
Suicide rates.
That's something that we're looking at. This is something that we've had $588 million that been spent over the last 4 or 5 years to do prevention, and yet the numbers say it's 17 or 21, wherever you'll have it. We're now opening that back up, taking in nonprofits. We're bringing in others who have things that are actually looking at. I work with Kennedy and others on the idea we're opening up the possibility of psychedelic treatment and others that give us an opportunity. We got to research it, make sure it's good, but it's opening up that possibility. And I think, again, veterans are understanding now that we're putting them first.
And this is being discussed at the cabinet level, and there wasn't 1 ounce of kickback. There wasn't one person said, hey, wait a minute, what are you talking about there? So give me 5 people that think that we're making progress at the government level on policies. Give me 5 people that can see the progress. When you have the Secretary of the Veteran Administration telling the President, we're looking into psychedelics for veteran health care. Well, by golly, by gosh. I'm glad I saw that. I'm glad I didn't miss that. No politics. I'm not even going to make a judgment about this man and some of his public positions on certain things relative to healthcare. I may agree, I may not agree. That's not the point. The point is that we're seeing leaders looking to psychedelics as an option for therapies. Huge. Huge. I'm going to read this article to you. Again, I'm taking no position on the man himself or some of his policies. I'm looking at how he's handling psychedelics. That's what I'm looking at. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the head of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, says he had a wonderful experience with LSD at 15 years old, which he took because he thought he'd be able to see dinosaurs as portrayed in a comic book that he was a fan of. Unfortunately, he said, that LSD trip led him to later take methamphetamine and ultimately go through a decade-long battle with heroin addiction. At the 2025 RX and Illicit Drug Summit in Nashville on Thursday, Kennedy spoke candidly about his own journey with certain drugs, offering a window into the HHS's secretary's perspective on substance use as he assumes a critical health and drug policy role. Kennedy said, excuse me, Kennedy said He was a straight edge up until he was 15. When he went to a party that became a melee, and he met a person who offered him LSD as they hitchhiked home. I would never have taken it, he said, but in his town, there was a store kids flocked to every week for comic books. And in one of his favorite series, Turok, Son of Stone, the characters took, in this comic book, some kind of a hallucinogen, and they saw dinosaurs. Okay. Kennedy said at that time he had a deep interest in paleontology. And the person who gave him LSD said it was possible that he would see dinosaurs too. I ended up taking it. And I had this wonderful experience of very, very intense hallucinations. And in the morning, I was remorseful. And I was kicking myself and saying, you swore you would never do this. You broke your commitment to yourself. And I swore I would never take drugs again. That personal pledge didn't last long, however, Kennedy said, because as he crashed from the acid, he subsequently met some older boys in the woods by his house. And they advised him that his come down would be easier if he took methamphetamine, which he did. They said, try some of this. And it was a line of crystal meth. And he said, I took it. And all my problems went away. They just evaporated. I felt better than I had ever felt in my whole life. The feeling was fleeting, however. As Kennedy said that, not long after that experience, he tried heroin. And he developed a substance misuse issue with the drug for the next 14 years. Kennedy has been transparent about his personal history with substance misuse, including during his time running for the 2024 Democratic presidential nomination. The details of his psychedelic experience are notable. While he's been largely silent on the issue in his capacity as the leading federal health official, he has previously campaigned on a plan to legalize marijuana and certain psychedelics, proposing to use tax revenue from the sales of substances such as psilocybin to support drug misuse treatment. Last October, Kennedy specifically criticized the FDA over the agency's suppression of psychedelics and a laundry list of other issues that he said amounted to a war on public health. A former U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs official said it's very encouraging that Kennedy supports psychedelic reform, and he hopes to work with him on the issue. Meanwhile, the head of the VA, who we just saw on my little IG list there, the head of the VA said recently that he had an eye-opening talks with Kennedy about the therapeutic potential of psychedelic medicine. And he said he intends to press Congress to take action on the issue. Author Michael Pollan said that Kennedy's placement as HHS secretary could prove very dangerous to the psychedelic community movement because he was concerned that the official might pursue federal reform in a way that delegitimizes the science behind substances such as psilocybin. By contrast, Rick Perry, a former governor of Texas, said that the president's choice for a key health policy positions, including Kennedy are a great gift for the psychedelic reform movement, particularly as it concerns access to ibogaine. Perry's a big proponent of ibogaine. Because of the legalization of recreational marijuana in 25 states, we now have the capacity to really study it and to compare it to states, he said. We do need to do the studies, we need to figure it out, and then we need to implement policies to address health concerns. That's about it on that article. A couple other things, but my point here is simple. We are seeing movement. Our responsibility in all of this is to treat this with ethics and morality. We don't want to be one of the examples about why we shouldn't move forward in this positive direction. We want to be one of the positive moving changes. And if we do it responsibly and we provide for each other love, care, and compassion, this stuff will happen. Give me 5 people that get it. Give me 5 people that get it. You're literally a leading edge example for the differences in psychedelics, good or bad. You are a living example. I am a living example. And when I can see this, it also heightens my level of responsibility. Like, they're looking, they're watching, they're paying attention. And if we turn this thing into a drug circus, that's not what anybody wants. What we want to do is help people. Enough said. Enough. I've been on a soapbox all morning, haven't I? Pops, you're at Venice Beach again, preaching? No, I don't want to be a preacher on this. I want to be a leader. I want to be a leader. Give me a number between 1 and 50. I need another person on the wheel for tomorrow. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Go, 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 go. Give me a number between 1 and 50. If you're already on the list for tomorrow, let everyone else guess. Thank you, Niffer. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Good morning, Ad Hay. Maddie G, that's interesting. Give me a number between 1 and 50. You could put up to 3 of them. Sammy P. Sammy P. Sammy P says it's 37, and it sure is, Sammy. Sam, you're going on the list for tomorrow's spins. Okay? We're putting your name down on there, Sammy P. Sam Posick. Congratulations. How many did we add today? Yeah, we have the 3. Okay. How many? Okay. Congratulations to Sam. We're going to add a couple more names first thing tomorrow's show, and then we'll do some spinning tomorrow. Spinning to be winning. Okay, let's get to our readings for today. We're still in this book by Brene Brown, discussing 4 major emotions that we have. And we're doing a deep dive on the concept and the emotion of shame. Okay? Do you remember what we said yesterday as we were leaving? Shame loves silence. Shame loves secrets. Do you know I told you guys a secret this morning about burning my mom's car up and being a liar. I felt really guilty about that. I did. I also experienced a good amount of shame. And the shame was coming because I didn't just go to her and tell her. This is what I did. And I've been lying to you for 2 years about it. And I also ripped off the insurance company. Because I don't think the insurance company would have paid if they found out it was because I dropped lit weed in the car. The shame didn't help me one bit. You know what helped? Is when I told the truth. And the funny thing is shame had built up this situation so big in my head that my mom's gonna really hate me. And she's gonna be pissed. You've been lying for 2. No. I had built up the consequence to be much, much bigger than it was. What I ended up getting was a laugh. Shame needs to believe you're alone. Empathy is a hostile environment for shame. Self-compassion. If I'd have felt more compassion for myself, I wouldn't have put myself through 2 years of lie pain, secrecy pain. And the last person I almost ever would have lied to or ever really did was my mom. Growing up, my whole life, I could tell her anything. I just can't tell you I burned your car up in the casino parking lot. But I started learning more self-compassion. I mean this. I started saying, I have to get rid of these secrets. I have to get rid of this shame. And the way to do that is just tell the truth. I'll face the consequences if she's pissed and mad. And what's she gonna do? I'm 58 years old. She's gonna ground me? Self-compassion helps us move through shame. But we need empathy for an important reason. Shame is a social emotion. Shame happens between people, and it heals between people. Even if I feel it alone, shame is the way I see myself through someone else's eyes. I was seeing myself through my mom's eyes. Self-compassion is often the first step to healing shame. We need to be kind to ourselves before we can share our stories with someone else. Self-kindness versus self-judgment. Wow. Which of those two was I in for those 2 years of keeping the secret? Was I in self-kindness or was I in self-judgment? Which was I firmly ensconced in? A lot of self-judgment. I was the judge. Self-compassion entails being warm and understanding towards ourselves when we suffer, fail, or feel inadequate, or towards our mom's car. Rather than ignoring our pain or flagellating ourselves with self-criticism, Do you think I did that for a couple of years? I honestly did. You imagine getting in the new car, and you know the only reason there's a new car is because you haven't told your mom what happened to the old car. Every time you go near the car, there's a reminder of your pain. Self-compassionate people recognize that being imperfect, failing, and experiencing life's difficulties are inevitable. So they tend to be gentle with themselves. When confronted with painful experiences, rather than getting angry when life falls short of its set ideals. Common humanity versus isolation. Self-compassion involves recognizing that suffering and personal inadequacy is part of the shared human experience, something that we all go through, rather than being something that happens to me alone. Think I was the first guy to burn his mom's car up? Well, I sure did. I sure thought that. I isolated over it. I isolated a truth out of my soul. Mindfulness versus over-identification. Mindfulness is non-judgmental. It's a receptive mind state in which one observes thoughts and feelings just as they are, without trying to suppress, without trying to deny them. We cannot ignore our pain and feel compassion for it at the same time. At the same time, mindfulness requires that we not be over-identified with thoughts and feelings, so that we're caught up and swept away by negative reactivity or a perception of negativity. I know it's going to be negative if I tell. I already know. Yes, Anthony, it is. I highly recommend that you take her self-compassion inventory at www.selfcompassion.org. www.selfcompassion.org. There's a test over there. There's a review. Find out what your self-compassion score is. You can learn a lot about your strengths and your areas that need attention. Being a shame researcher for so many years, I'm really good at common humanity. Even though shame says it's just you. I know we all struggle. Self-kindness is my growth area for sure. Self-kindness for me means telling the truth. Means facing my consequences and being impeccable. When I know I'm being impeccable, it's very easy for me to feel self-compassion, to know I'm doing the right thing. But know that how I'm responding is how my good soul would respond. Self-kindness is my growth area for sure. Like most people, I talk to myself in ways that I would never talk to someone else. Do you do that? Do you castigate yourself, self-flagellate? Tell yourself what an idiot you are? But you're not knocking on the neighbor's door and telling them they're an idiot. You're waving and being friendly to them. Self-compassion doesn't allow those things. It says stop talking to yourself like that. You're growing. You're just a human. You made a mistake. You're going to compound that mistake by lying and hiding it in a secret. I try to remind myself, if I wouldn't talk that way to Ellen or Charlie or Waz, if they made a mistake and they dropped a ball, what do you think I'm going to treat them like? Well, it's okay, man. You'll make it next time. But what do I tell myself? Loser, ball dropper, again. That was my old language. I shouldn't talk to myself that way. Self-kindness is both more difficult and more revolutionary than we think. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the 4 elements of shame resistance. Shame resistance. There are 4 elements. There's going to be a recognizing, a practicing, a reaching, and a speaking element. And then there's shame in our culture. One reason we get so confused by the term shame is because it's misused all the time. People throw around the word shameless when they see someone make a mistake. They attribute unconscionable behavior to a lack of shame. It's totally wrong. Unconscionable behavior is because you're a human being. Shame isn't the cure for anything. It's usually the cause. We'll pick that up again tomorrow, right? A little bit more shame class. And we're only doing this so we understand and learn the concepts, so we don't have to experience them, so we can grow past them, so we can use our strengths when we're in our struggles. Thank you guys for today. Thanks for letting me tell you my stories. Pop's the arsonist, okay? Pop's the insurance scammer. Pop's the liar to his mom. Pop's the growing human being. Pop's the growing human being. That's who he calls himself today. Anybody else want to tell a story? Anybody else want to get some shame off their shoulder? Have a great I'm exposed, B. Hendricks. Okay? It absolutely wasn't intentional, but the lie was, Derek. Okay? We all grow lighter. I like that, Michael. 100%. Man, this new life that I live is really light. It just is. I don't get involved. I don't put oxygen in the game. And I be impeccable with my word. Once I'm impeccable with my word, I'm Teflon, baby. I won't take anything personal because it's not about me. I won't have any expectations, because if I had an expectation, that's why I would be doing something, for that expectation of the reward. I don't want that to be my motive. I want my motive to be, well, like Michael just said, I want my motive to be that I could walk around the planet lighter than I ever have before. I want to float. Oh, I'd like to float about that far off the ground. Boom. I don't want to float real high. Just like a, okay. And you can get like that. If you haven't said or done anything, that's a sin against yourself. Sins are heavy. Whew. Floating and shining, Kim. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for being here today. We will see you here tomorrow. Be here to win. So far we have Sanum, King Metro, Dando, Herbie Von Werby, Furby Kebab, Jolie, Kim, Michael P, Niffy, Glassic, and Sammy P. And we'll get 2 or 3 more people on tomorrow. First thing, get them on the list, and then we'll start going through this. Okay? Get out of here. I'm going to scroll you guys out. Thanks again, Cleany. Cleany, you're a great guy. Herbie, Niffy. It's fastly getting lighter for you, Niffy. Trust me, I can see it happening. Marcus and Cleany and Mike Butterball and Maddie, thank you. Excuse me, Mike Butterball and Niffy and Jesus Christ in Australia, and Kimberly and I are floating around. Clean Grow and Marcus and Donnie Fike and Sanum and Justin. Thank you, Justin, and Marcus and Mushy. Hair care. Niffy and Sanum in Vegas and Joe D's and Jolie. Jolie, you were very, very sweet yesterday. Cleany and Ishmael Barraza Villegas. Saul and Niffy and Marcus Doc and Marcus McCarty and Mr. Phillips and B. Hendricks. Sue Littlemeyer. Exceptionally exceptional. Mike Butterball and Taco. Taco, please come back tomorrow. See if you can get on the list for tomorrow. Kimberly, Derek Anderson, Calico Kitty, Tribal Science, Gypsy Life, Nippy and Notorious Skate, Cat Meowzilla, Marcus and Taco, and Jesus Christ, Kuroki is croaking him if he has them. Hey, Kuroki, that was a great picture of your cake on IG. Very good work, young man. Shy, you're a good man. I really, really like you, Shy. Zozo LSD and the Wizzy the Wazzy. Nippy and Marcus and Summerweed. Thank you, Psalms. And Mushroom and Mushmouth. There she is. Sanum and Mush Hunter. And Strady. There's another great guy. Marcus and Justin and Michael Shanti Patterson. Taco's coming back. Marcus and Nippy and Mike Butterball and Cleany and Marquez. So, 4 things. We already talked about them. We're going to be impeccable. We're not going to take things personal. We're not having expectations. And HB, fill in the blank. HB, come, bring it. What do you got? Come on. HB, you know what to say. I'm waiting. HB fills in this 4th agreement blank. Come on, HB. HB's going to say just what Justin did. Do your best. Pops out.